Good day, YouTube. Welcome to my channel. My name is Darren and my ham radio call sign is N4VFR. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how you can troubleshoot how to connect your RealVNC to your RF2K-S amplifier remote control from outside your home network. So this is what happened. I got a RF2K-S amplifier. I have a second one and I put it in line, and I didn't assign a static IP address. I'm using DHCP. There's nothing wrong with my old amplifier, the RF2K-S. If you haven't seen the video, I did a comparison between the Lux, that's a Mercury Lux, and the RF2K-S amplifier. Back then it was called RF Kit. Now they're made in Austria, and the company is now called RF Power. So if you haven't seen that comparison on the Mercury Lux versus the RF2K-S amplifier, I'll leave the link above. When I put my new amplifier in line, I had an issue with connecting remotely. As you can see here, I'm at the hotel. I'm out in Philadelphia. I had a problem connecting to the RF2K-S amplifier, but when I tested it out within my local area network, you know, it starts with the IP address of 192.168.blank.blank within the network inside my home network. It was working. However, I forgot to test it outside the network until I got here to Philly. I wanted to get on HF and I couldn't access my RF2K-S remotely like you see here. But first, let me have some fake Starbucks. Alright, this is my desktop here on my MacBook Pro. How I access remotely, I use a program called VNC Viewer. There it is right there. Currently, I'm using the wide area network access. So if I'm going to do it locally, I label it like this, local. This would be my local IP address right here, 192.168.22.46. That's my RF2K-S amplifier. Where did I get this number? There's many places where you can get that information. You can log into your router at home, identify it, or let me go into my RF2K-S. So what you're looking at now is I am currently logged in to the RF2K-S remotely. I'm just going to show you where you can find that IP address. Click on menu, click on the network, click on the local area network. Okay, and that's your internal IP address inside your home network. Mine is 192.168.22.46, and this is important to know. Your VNC configuration port, it's going to be port 5900. So write those down, the IP address and the port 5900. That's where you can find that information. So I'm just going to simulate what I encountered when I tried to connect to the RF2K-S remotely. Okay, so we're going to use this one. I went ahead and changed the IP address for my wide area network. I'm trying to connect now. This is what you're going to experience if you have a wrong IP address, or if you don't have the IP pass-through with port forwarding. It goes to this sequence of trying to connect. It's going to be unsuccessful. So after waiting for a while, you get frustrated. It's like, why is this not communicating? It used to work with my old RF2K-S, but that had a different IP address. So now with the newer one, that changed too, because I'm using DHCP. So it's going to take a minute or two, like it's doing now. We'll just wait and see what happens. I hope all is well with you guys watching my video. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider to subscribe to my channel. Click on the like button and also leave me a comment. So this is what you're going to expect. Timed out, waiting for response from the computer. Mine is a Raspberry Pi built into the RF2K-S. So you're frustrated like I was. Let me show you what I did to fix it. My fiber optic company is called IQ Fiber here in Atlantic Beach, Florida. I used to have an AT&T router. When I had an AT&T router, I showed you how to perform the IP pass-through and port forwarding. If you haven't seen that video, take a look at that above. And I described on how to do it on the AT&T router. I was able to log into a router, but in my new router with IQ Fiber, I couldn't do it. I asked my mom to, hey, take a photo on top of the router. You have the IP address to log in. The default login is going to be 192.168.1.1. That wasn't working because my subnet is here on my new network. It's 192.168.22 dot something. So I tried to log in, it didn't work. What I did now is I called IQ Fiber customer help desk, and I spoke with one of the representatives, Cindy, in Jacksonville Beach, Florida. She was very helpful. I tried to give her the IP address. My IP address, like you saw in this video, it's 192.168.22.46. So I gave that to her. She tried to access that with a port forwarding, with the port forwarding of 5900, and that didn't work. It didn't work because there is already a pass-through that's being used, and she provided me that IP address, which is already existing. It's already being used. You can't create another IP with that specific port 5900 because it's already being used. You can't push two IP addresses through that one port. So I said thank you for the help. I was on the phone for nearly an hour. They close at 9 o'clock local time here on the East Coast. So I slept on it, and you know, when you're sleeping, you're always thinking, lying in bed, what is wrong? How can I fix this? So this is what I came up with. So before I actually fell asleep, I thought about, let me try just to pass that IP address without a port. And so this morning I called them back. I talked with Matt. He said, let's try to delete that port 5900 and then add a new one with the new IP address of 192.168.22.46 with port 5900. And we did that. Previously, you can apply a range. So we added that 192.168.22.46. We gave it a range. We said from 5800 through 5900. After we changed that, I tried to log in. This came up. You just type in the password that you assigned, and then I click on remember, and I click OK. So this is what you see. Now I have access remote control. You know, I can go into menu. You see my call sign, my antenna control. I can update remote control, check for updates. That's my GUI and my controller. Everything's up to date. Here's my network. Again, we're using port 5900 and my internal IP address. So to summarize this, I can't log into my IQ Fiber. It didn't allow me to do it. I had to call customer support, the technicians, tell them what I'm trying to do. You have to know the port, and you need to know your IP address to provide it to your technician. So once they did that, they deleted the old IP pass-through, re-entered it with a new IP address and the ports 5800 through 5900. I logged in after a minute so it can make the connections, and it was working. So that's how I fixed trying to remote control. Now I'm using my iPad mini from here. Anywhere in the United States, anywhere in another country, I can remote in. Hey guys, thank you for watching my video on connecting the RealVNC viewer to my RF2K-S remote. And now I'm able to view my remote display on the amplifier. My name is Darren. My ham radio call sign is N4VFR. I'll say 73s, and I'll see you in the next video.